Welcome. It is my pleasure to be able to introduce you to the wonderful poetry of the following students. Amkela Khanyile, Rebecca Ryan, Melissa Giannone, Shannon Mc Grail, Faseeha, and Morgan Robinson. It is my privilege to be able to introduce you to the work of Les Smith and Helen Aitken. Helen Aitken has been a continuity announcer for the BBC and a TV continuity announcer on Yorkshire TV. She says that she has been writing and talking for a living for most of her adult life. She says, "I have talked my way through a wealth of corporate videos, e-learning projects, commercials, children's books, and poetry. More recently, she has also been writing poetry." Les Smith is a voice-over artist, scriptwriter, and audio producer. He says he has meandered through many different strands of work, at times in broadcasting, and at other times more in the video training film side of things and advertising. Interestingly, he first started out on his career in South Africa when he did some freelance things for the SABC when he first left school. His first full-time radio job was with Radio Bophuthatswana in Mmabatho, Radio Bop. He moved from there to the newsroom at 702 in Johannesburg. He left South Africa in 1984 to join a brand new radio station in the UK called Viking Radio, where he stayed for 8 years. Firstly as a presenter, but he became more interested in the commercial production side of things and gradually moved in that direction. Since then, he has worked for quite a few different radio stations and production companies around the north of England. At the moment, he is mainly newsreading again for an online news company called NOA. I am delighted that these two remarkable voice artists were so impressed with the work of our South African student poets that they created a wonderful poetry montage for us to enjoy.
Death never seemed to hear me call. Death never seemed to hear me call, as her brown skin began to change in the eyes of us all. It took time for me to realise that there was no more pain evident in her hazel eyes. Unwilling, my body crept to lie beside hers. I could not help but whisper a song in her ears. I intertwined the ice with my own hand, and I waited for my wrist to give her the pulse I had. But she lay still as her scent filled my nose. The window allowed the wind to come in, and it blew upon her foreign, pale-looking face, her breath long gone with the wind, without a trace. I tried to call unto her too, but like death she seemed to have gone deaf. Death never seemed to hear me call, nor give me chance to swap my place with hers.
Frustration. It's as if it's slowly being poured into you, fills you up to the brim. It then overflows, getting in the eyes. Eventually all one can see is the red blur that the thick, murky liquid is covering up. All begs to be thrown, broken, shattered, crushed. The pot boils, making ears hear nothing but the sound of the high-pitched, monotonous silence. The pot breaks, leaving nothing but shrapnel and shambles behind. Rhythmic thuds fill the quiet. The heart stabilizes. The thick mould of claustrophobic intention breaks. Freedom from frustration.
The earth is calling out. The earth is calling out. Every time a tree gets cut down, every time a drop of oil fills the sea, every time a person lights a bushfire. The earth is calling out when the sky turns grey, when the water becomes undrinkable, when another part of the ocean becomes dead. The earth is calling out every time another species becomes extinct, every time an animal gets poached for its horn, every time an animal dies from eating a piece of plastic you dropped on the floor. The earth is calling out for you to help.
A performance from the war orchestra within. When I do hear the concerto of gunfire inside my head's great open vacant space, discordant war within my head transpire, and tears of guilt stream down upon my face. The scars which nestle themselves within my brain compose a violent new-found disarray, conduct inside a hurtful, cracked refrain. I place a pause to hide the pain away. Disharmony plays out of tune within. The serenade only with death will close. The notes and lines stained there upon my skin, as I am lowered to the grave I chose. The music which my heart and head contend will soon become a sad and violent end.
Love, muffled speech, excitement, insanely cheerful, secret smiles, flames burning when you meet. Starry skies is what I see. I think of everlasting joy, embracing each day, hoping to be with you until death do us part. Can it be?
You don't understand a word I'm saying, do you? The roundabout on the playground. Red, yellow, blue. It's easy. Red, yellow, blue. Like that first breath. It begins to turn. Just like that. It's easy. Mum and Dad walk alongside. It's easy. Red, yellow, blue. They blur together. I hold on tight. It's easy. Mum and Dad aren't there, but it's easy. They're trying to throw me off. My knuckles are white. Just let go. It's easy. No, don't let go. Even though it's not easy. I start to slip. Almost sucked into nothingness. To lose, to be lost. It's easy. No, win. Even though it's not easy. This wonderful roundabout. This horrible roundabout. Moving so fast. It's not easy. Yet I fear the day it stops that it's easy. You don't understand a word I'm saying, do you?
This montage of poems was compiled by Patrizia Fanucchi. The readers were Helen Aitken and Les Smith.
Poems featured were Death Never Seemed to Hear Me Call by Amkela Khanyile, Frustration by Melissa Giannone, The Earth is Calling Out by Shannon Mc Grail, a performance from the War Orchestra Within by Rebecca Ryan, Love by Faseeha, and You Don't Understand a Word I'm Saying, Do You? By Morgan Robinson.
Please remember to click the bell below and subscribe, and visit me at my website, formuse.org.